We're going to be talking about the DMR and the Xbox One's complete 180, now known as the Xbox 180, on all of its DMR and online usage. So stay tuned, hope you enjoy the video to come. Alright guys, and welcome. So today we're going to be talking about the basically 180 Microsoft has done with the Xbox One. Now, I'm going to help, or try, to clear up everything that has been said about the Xbox One. So basically, prior to the Xbox One's its 180, a lot of things had been over exaggerated in terms of what you could do and what you couldn't do. It had an awesome thing called the family settings, where anyone within your family on the Xbox could play a game anywhere without the disc, which I think is one of the greatest things they could have done for consoles. I mean, it was a leg up they had above PlayStation, which means, and I know PlayStation has that thing where you can upload things a certain you can download it onto another area or a console. I believe it's another console, sorry, and multiple times until a certain amount of limit is reached. But Microsoft had it in a great way. The cloud, obviously, they're going to be doing it they have a cloud, and they're really providing for the cloud, which I think is another step up. Because hate Xbox as much as you want, hate the new things that are coming, but everything is moving digital, and I really don't care if you are a fanboy or not. But facts are facts, and everything's moving digital. Sony has agreed to it. Nintendo has agreed to it. Steam is all digital, basically. So I mean, I don't know what else is there to say. Everything is digital. So Xbox knows the future. People just don't like change. Now, I'm not an Xbox fanboy. I don't actually own an Xbox right now. I have a PlayStation 3 and a PC. I'm primarily a PC gamer. All I care about is Total War and other games. But anyway, we'll continue with what I was saying here. So, they had a pretty good thing going. I mean, other than the 24-hour checkup and everything, it's great. The whole stupid thing about people trying to correlate the fact of the NSA and the Kinect is stupidity beyond belief. I mean, personally, I have a kind of a hatred towards IGN's community, mainly due to the fact of the idiocy that goes throughout, in the stupid comments that go throughout it's basically its wall, its comment wall, and it's just stupid. Like, you see some people just blurting out stuff, people like it, and then that information spreads, and people think that that's actually the information which was in the article. And a lot of them don't even read the article; they go straight down to the comments. I'm not sure why. Maybe they don't have a very long attention span, but whatever. I'm not here to challenge IGN. It's just a lot of people have been throwing out information that's not true. So here to clear it up about what that's actually going to be in the Xbox One is, I'll explain it now. They've removed all the 24-hour thing. You no longer 24-hour checkups. You no longer need to be online. And the only reason you would ever need to be online will be if you're playing a game which is digital on your console. If you're using a CD, you don't need to be online. Simple as that. I think that's great, because the thing is about people people don't understand is the fact that this is work people are doing. Games are work. People work their asses off to get these games out to you. They spend a lot of time. They spend huge amounts of their day trying to make this game, and then people go and pirate it. I mean, and you guys think it's just PC? There are huge amounts of pirates on console and both consoles. I mean, type in Pirate Bay yourself and you see games that are exclusive to consoles just everywhere. It's not limited. People can chip the PlayStation, all the thing. It's been happening for a long time, and it's hard for the producers to stop this. So it's DMI is something that's needed. They need to make their money back. The other thing is a second-hand gaming, which can be done now. Of course, trading your CD, lend your friends CDs. There's no limit on the Xbox One anymore for that. But in terms of what they were doing, it made sense. It's annoying. It's extremely annoying about not being able to lend my mate a game. But in a sense, it works because the developers no longer get the money. People keep thinking Microsoft was trying to keep the money for themselves for the CD. No, that's nothing at all. It's the developers. Yes, so obviously they wanted it for the first-party developers, but developers in general, which means that when the beloved game Last of Us, when someone's done with The Last of Us, if they, if anyone wanted to trade it in, the company Naughty Dog gets no money from the trade-in of Last of Us. The GameSpot gives you money, or EB Games gives you money for it, or trade-in the points towards something else, $80 worth. None of that goes towards Naughty Dog whatsoever. It all goes just to GameSpot. That's the problem they were having with it, and it actually hurt developers a lot. I mean, I'm really amazed at the resolve that CD Projekt Red, I believe, the guys who make The Witcher, and they're very just open about DMR, said they don't want it having their game being one of the biggest pirated games of all time. I mean, it's insane of their resolve, and I feel that if there was a game to have it, it should have been their game to have DMR, so they could get their money back, and they could protect what an amazing game The Witcher turned out to be. Anyway, so with the Xbox One, it is no longer any other restriction. It's basically on par with the PlayStation 100% now. We all know, and I mean, I don't want to try to sound like a fanboy, but Microsoft will probably and most likely have the better online support due to the massive amounts of digital and internet PC experience that they have, being Microsoft, one of the world's biggest companies. I mean, people forget all the time that this is Microsoft, not just Xbox as a company. This is Microsoft backing the Xbox. Microsoft's one of the world's biggest companies, and they own, I think there's a massive majority share of, in terms of what's running on Windows, it's like, I think it's like over 60% of the world's servers and stuff are used something got to do with Microsoft. This is a huge thing. I mean, defense systems for your countries connected with Microsoft, and I think that they will have the upper leg on terms of that. The slight processing power, everyone's agreed that there's no difference between that whatsoever. So a lot of people don't actually know Sony's actually looking into cloud rendering as well. The Xbox is having it as a launch product, whereas Sony can have it as well because they have their connection with that Japanese. I believe it's Japanese, or it's a streaming game service. I'm sorry, I should know the name for it, but you guys probably know what it is. I'll link it in the thing below. They will do it eventually as well. The only thing I'm saying is that Xbox obviously has the huge cloud buildings. So they're building, I mean, not cloud buildings, cloud server buildings they're building, and just filling it up with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of servers, and they're going to be doing that to help improve games. In terms of the day one exclusives, I think PlayStation has won on that side, due to the fact just Infamous. I think Infamous looks amazing, and I mean, it's hard to say actually. It all comes down to a thing. I personally think Infamous is, and some of the other games I'm kind of blanking out here, but Halo 1 isn't a launch title, so you can't say Halo 1. It's coming out later on after the Xbox One has already been released. And yeah, so just clearing all that up, there's no longer 24-hour connection with the Xbox. There is no longer any DRM. It's exactly like the Xbox 360 in terms of lending, trading games with your mates, doing all that other stuff. There is a day one internet connection that is needed. So when you first get the console, you need to connect to the internet for a little bit while it updates, and it connects your console to the cloud or whatever it has to do, and it updates it and all that. The reason is to do that is because there's a different time on when software is released and when the hardware is finished. So you got to remember that when the hardware is finished and it's packaged and it's in its Xbox One box and it's sent over to your local store, they're still developing software. So that's what you got to remember. So within that time that you're waiting for the package to arrive or whatever, they're still trying to fix things. They're trying to make things better. So by the time you get it, there's probably going to be an update, which is basically like every game. People constantly forget that. But that's another thing you got to remember. Other than that, you will not need to connect your Xbox to online again unless you're playing multiplayer, unless you're streaming movies, so and so on, and of course, unless you need to update it. Me personally, I live in Australia. We have some of the worst internet in the world. I'm never disconnected from the internet ever. My PlayStation is always connected to the Wi-Fi. My PC is always connected to the Ethernet because it's quicker, to my knowledge at least. And I wouldn't have any problem being always online with the Xbox because that's just my thing. And I live in Australia, like I said. We have nowhere near the best internet. And yeah, so that's the wrap up of the Xbox One and a bit of my opinion on what's happening with the console wars. I don't really like to say that though because it's stupid, it's childish to say it's a really console war. The real thing is just rivalry, because competition causes the gaming wheel to turn, which is a great thing because when Microsoft pushes the envelope, Sony will push us back. So the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are huge leaps in technology on both sides, and I just hope that people start realizing that the PC people are still here, the PC community is growing, and that we need games on over here as well. So we really hope we get some of those exclusives. If not, we have Rome Total War 2. None of you guys can play that on your consoles, can you? We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning into TGIG Games. And remember to like and subscribe and comment. Tell me down below what you think the Xbox One could change as well, or if you agree with it.